Back to the starting lineup with Scott Purrier, Ned Reynolds, and Art Haynes on your home for the St. Louis Cardinals. 102.1 The One.
And the starting lineup is brought to you by Play Against Sports in the Fremont Shopping Center, Battlefield and Fremont Springfield, Swing Right Golf at the South Campbell, about just a tee shot away from Nixa on the north side, Marshfield Chevrolet at the I-44 exit, and indeed a great place to see the new Chevys that are coming in. Citizens Bank of Rogersville with the two locales, one adjacent to Highland Springs and the other in Rogersville itself. Ned Reynolds along with
Scott Purrier
and Art Haynes.
Art, Lady Bears game on Friday afternoon, the 42-point loss, which looked really bad at the time until you saw what Texas did to Oregon in the next game, 42 as well there. How do you account for, explain the disparity in the women's game where we get LSU beating Texas Tech by 50 and things of that nature?
Yeah, I mean, it's still – that's been a criticism validly, I think, of the women's game for years is – that there's a big gap. You got the really superstar teams and then other teams who are good but not nearly on that level. I mean, you see that some in the men's tournament, but not very often. I just think there are more good men's teams.
Well, and on the women's side, you have fewer, I think, women's programs that are spending the NIL money to go get their players. You know, and I do think that played a part in Molly Miller, for example, not going to Mizzou or Arkansas when they were open because the commitment wasn't there at either place to spend the money, allow the money to compete with South Carolina and LSU and Texas. And I think when that's the case, you get what we saw all weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You eat the food, you got to pay for it. And that's the world we're living in right now, the world of NIL.
Yeah, absolutely. Capped a great season for Cayman Beckemeyer, the junior from Republic, went over 1,000 career points. I think I saw in the game story that she finished the season with 1,254 minutes, the most ever played by a Lady Bear in a single season. Now the work begins for Beth Cunningham on fending off teams in the portal, I would think. Any worries about some of the good young players and really including a Cayman, somebody coming after her?
Well, I'm sure people will come after Cayman.
Yeah.
Now, her local roots might overcome that, but they're going to have to come through with a good faith offer to keep her because, I mean, she's the obvious target. You know, Maisha Washington, freshman, really came on strong at the end, and I think she might be a target as well.
Lainey Douglas,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lainey. I mean, she doesn't have the size, the heft to really bang at the highest level. I mean, you saw in that game with Texas, ain't nothing happening at the rim. I mean, Lainey had to shoot free throw line jumpers, which she made some, and that's my favorite shot. You know, as an uncontested two, but I don't know if she is a prototypical Power 5, Power 4 player like Cayman, I think, could be.
Art, when you're watching Iowa do what they do and get to this point and knock off Florida, and Ben McCollum doing the job he's doing now with Iowa, and Cale Combs playing a key role for them, especially in the game before that, and then you think back to the hiring process when there was an opening here after Dana Ford left, what goes through your mind?
Not good thoughts. I mean, he and his wife were in town. They were in Springfield, and he expected to get the job. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden he didn't. So he went to Drake and beat us, and then now he's at Iowa. I mean, he'd probably not still be here, but he might. I mean, this would have been his second year. And very good things follow Ben McCollum.
Well, and if he's not here, that means you had 2 really good years or 1 really good year too, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
he is better off than we have been. I mean, no disrespect, but I mean, that guy, he would have brought Sturts with him and, Combs probably, and oh my gosh, that would have been super.
But he has a really great coaching pedigree. Everything he did at Northwest Missouri, at Drake, and now at Iowa. This will be their third meeting with Nebraska this year, both conference members, of course, and the rubber match because they've each won one. But the fact of the matter is no one expected Iowa, certainly I didn't. They're playing Florida in the game last night, and they beat them. They beat the Gators on a 3-point shot, but still beat them, and they were right with them. And that Florida team is huge, and certainly the defending national champs have every bit of a pedigree to get there, and Iowa takes them out of that. Says something for McCollum.
Well, it really does. You know, guys that come up from Division II have to overcome that. I remember when Josh Schertz went to Indiana State. He's a D2 guy. Yeah, well, he's also winning Missouri Valley Conference championships, and now he's at SLU and winning games in the NCAA Tournament. And same with Ben. I mean, if you can coach, you can coach. And Ben McCollum can coach.
Well, and the other great part about that is it got Todd Golden out of the tournament, too, which he's very easy to root against, I think, just the way he carries himself for Florida and all the backstories on him as well. But interesting, you know, St. John's knocks off Kansas on the last-second shot. I saw a story this morning that Bill Self's not exactly committing to coming back for KU next year.
Right. He says for health reasons.
Yeah, that would be...
He's missed some games for health reasons. He's had the heart problems for the last 3 years, so that'll determine his future.
I wonder who would be the hot names for that job if it opened up. There'd be several, I would think.
Great question. Like, you know, when Larry Brown left years ago, and they ended up with about their 8th choice, Roy Williams. That would be a red-hot job. And especially, you've got all this support, you've got all this tradition, but they haven't gotten to the second weekend 4 years in a row, so it's not like they're on top of the world.
Rick Pitino, John Calipari in the Sweet 16, just like the old times here. Arkansas gets in, they fight off a very pesky High Point to advance. They've got Arizona coming up. That's going to be a tall challenge for them.
Yes, it will. I mean, Arizona's my pick to win the national championship. I mean, I want to cheer for Arkansas, and I probably deep down will be. They're a fun team to watch.
And it's been fun to watch Trevin Brazile and the way he's developed, especially the second half of the year, and really come on to be a big factor. But Darius Acuff Jr., I mean, you talk about a guy that has maybe played his way to the 1 or 2 pick in the NBA draft. It's a shame John Tyson can't sell some more chicken nuggets and match the whatever he's going to make in the NBA, because that'd be fun to see him another year with the Hogs.
Yeah, it would, but that's not going to happen, I'm afraid. No. But, you know, they've got a lot of good players, Malik Thomas at Richmond and Trevin. And
Jordan Smith Jr. coming in from Paul VI as their next A-Cuff, too, so it'll be fun. I guess if an Arkansas fan can only dream of those two in the same backcourt, that'd be pretty special.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Jordan Smith Jr., who we didn't get to see because of load management, I guess, in the TNC finals. Yeah.
Good weekend for the baseball Bears. They get the sweep over Middle Tennessee. Oklahoma State coming in tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, Middle Tennessee has got to be just shaking their heads. I mean, they had the lead in all 3 games, and the Bears' offense is just relentless. They're going to score however many they need, and it was a great weekend for them. Tag Gollard, great weekend. So yeah, Oklahoma State now they lost to them by 1 run down there a couple of weeks ago, and I think their pitching's in pretty good shape. They'll probably start Max Knight, I think. And, you know, they got Charlton. Those are their 2 best pitchers. This Felder kid, though, redshirt freshman, he's been outstanding out of the bullpen. So I imagine we'll see some combination of those 3 tomorrow. Games at 3 o'clock now, moved up for some reason. So it's 3 o'clock instead of an evening game.
I'll tell you who has really come up with some big hits is the Kriegel kid. My goodness sake, he has really come through in the clutch.
So they've put him in the lineup at first base, and, yeah, he has delivered some big late-in-the-game hits.
And indeed he has, and it's resulted in some very good things. It's a good team. They're a very good team to watch. Glad you mentioned that about the 3 o'clock game. It's 3 or 3:30?
3.
Very good, sir. We'll take a timeout on the starting lineup. Back in a second.
You're listening to The Starting Lineup with Scott Purrier, Ned Reynolds, and Art Haynes on 102.1 The One.